Hi, I'd like to show you the hydraulic steering system on my Odin A20. Starts off with replacing the standard steering mechanism with this hydraulic head, and it's basically there's several advantages to having hydraulic steering. My single most reason was that I wanted a hydraulic Autopilot, which is a better system, but also maintenance-wise, it's self-lubricating. It's powerful. It's smooth, and it does get rid of a lot of the cumbersome linkage that's stock on this boat. You that have the boat know that there's a kind of a huge bracket that connects the two rudders together in the back, and this eliminates all that so that you can walk around on the back and not have all that hardware back there, basically. Go ahead and take a look at the linkages. This is the part that had to come up with to make this all work. This bracket right here, well, we started off with we have a cylinder that moves back and forth that steers the motor, and then there's a trolling motor bracket, it's called, here, and I've gone with the rod ends to a machine fitting, which is then hooks right over the pin on the rudder bracket, and you can see how tight this all is, but it's still very maneuverable and flexible. And when you turn the wheel, the whole mechanism just runs just smooth and beautiful. It also does it with the motor tipped up. You see how the geometry changes, but that linkage takes up all that different movement. Yeah, it's just a great system. The beautiful thing about it is when I put the Autopilot on, there's a pump in here that takes over, and put a few degrees in, and it automatically moves the motor. You hear the pump running. Pump's right down in here, and all you do is connect the hoses up, run them down, brought them right out down here. They're coming out from the well, and they hook right up to the cylinder here. Pretty clean installation. It's all below grade here. Even brought out the cabling and the wiring out through here. So now I can walk here. I got my grill right here. This is my outdoor kitchen. I can grill and cook, and I haven't got that big arm going back and forth. If we're diving and swimming, we've taken all the clutter out of here. We also were fortunate, we have probably the only other Odin A20 that has hydraulic steering in the shop, which is Jeff Ritzman's. His is over here. Let me show that to you. I'll show you Jeff's boat. He's got his beautiful new E-Tech 115 on here. Kind of a nice match for the boat. There's also he has a new larger spoke steering wheel. Got a lot of features on this boat that now we'll show you some other time. But right now we're going to show you the hydraulic steering. I've got the rudders on his right now, and everything's sort of set up. So this is what it looks like normally. You can see the cabling is a little bit different on his. That's why, and so is the geometry on the linkage. But it all works very smooth, no slop. I'll post the links on where to get the Teleflex C-Star steering unit plus the trolling motor brackets. And the rest of it's just a little bit of machining. This is about 9 inches center to center. This part here needs to be machined. These rod ends are stock. You can buy them at your local bearing supply. And this whole thing could be put on, I think, any one of our boats. No matter which motor, I think it could be fitted with it. These are common to this steering unit, not the motor, so that should mount on any application. Again, if you want to, I think a better steering autopilot, hydraulic steering is the way to go. I think a good testament for this system was when I crossed over to the Bahamas. I got on a waypoint and went sailboat speed with my buddy boat, about 5.5 knots, and we did an overnighter. And for 11 hours, I never touched the steering wheel. This system stayed hooked up, and we were in pretty rough seas. We really couldn't do much more than 5.5 knots. And I know that my sport pilot that I had on my McGregor just wouldn't have stayed functioning. It would have kicked out, and I would have been hand steering all the way over all night long. So you know, the hydraulic system is I think the way to go, and it's definitely an improvement. I'll show you the hydraulic pump that sort of the heart of the system. Jeff put a larger steering wheel on, and I think we talked about this on the forum, where if you do that, you have to reverse the hinges, and so that it opens this way, which isn't too bad. But in here is the pump that powers this. Oh, whenever the autopilot's on. The autopilot is a Raymarine 6000 series. It has a fluxgate compass, but it also has a rate gyro and a microprocessor, which means that it senses the boat's yaw. And this is the rudder sensor. It senses that this rudder is positioned, and you can see that if you disconnect it. But the beautiful thing about the system is it learns. The microprocessor knows that you're getting cornering seas, and it'll compensate for that as you journey on the waypoint. It'll learn that it needs to put in, let's say, more port. It knows what's going on. It's not confused. So that really does help it stay on course and do a better job of. It doesn't wander. So it's a beautiful system. And you can see that this whole hydraulic system is it's just a wonderful setup. You back up. Now it knows where center is, and I got 3 years on it now, and it's not failed me. I got to the point now where I get at the end of the river out on the lake, and I hit the autopilot, and the boat does a much better job of steering than I do. So anyway, that's the hydraulic steering system and the Raymarine Autopilot. Both good things for this boat, especially.